What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Good evening to you who's watching this, or good morning, good afternoon, when you guys are watching today's video. And if you guys didn't know who I am Saj the Boss, a massive Star Wars fan, like you can see over here, but I'm also a massive fan of action figures. And I happened to go to my local Ross, and I picked up something I thought was kind of like, I've been seeing this all over like my Instagram feed lately. It's like all these collectors are going pretty much like hey crazy over figures that I thought were really cool. I didn't know Ross was selling these things. And apparently they were selling these. I knew they were selling Marvel Legends, but I didn't know they were selling Star Wars The Black Series figures. So I went to my local Ross just to see if they had anything. And sure enough, I got a figure that I've been wanting for a while. Cassian Andor. A figure that I've been sitting off on for quite some time. And I finally got myself a Cassian Andor tonight at Ross. And I paid $6.49, so roughly around $7, but $6 is what I paid. And it was perfect. The $5.99 turns into $6.49. Who's wilder than that, you know? But I did pay $6.47 actually. I thought $6.49, but $6.47 for that, not bad at all. It's like a cheeseburger at McDonald's these days, or a burger at Wendy's. You know, it's not bad, right? People were finding too, ladies and gentlemen, they were finding that they had the KB and all those really cool figures. I was super duper excited. They got an Andor, and I'm shocked. This is Star Wars The Black Series newest packaging, just like Thrawn and my Anakin figure, brand new packaging for him. You got Cassian Andor number 10 and the Rogue One line. This is from Star Wars Andor, Hasbro here, the classic Black Series packaging, orange right here, and we got Cassian right here and his adventure pose. I don't think he comes with his satchel, unfortunately. I think the satchel would have been a really essential accessory for him. I think he's next to, on the side if you collect the murals, to K2SO. And this whole wave alone, I totally forgot this existed. Because I knew the Thrawn came out, and maybe this wave came out back in January, so I had like no reconcile over the past 6 months this thing released. Like, I'm aware of the TIE Fighter opening credit Andor figure from the beginning of Season 2, but I'm not familiar with this figure when this came out. Also, no offense, but a lot of the likenesses to Diego Sterner right here have been pretty off-putting, but this one looks pretty darn accurate to him. And it says Cassian Andor continues the journey that will shape it into the leader of the rebellion as the political tensions grow, as he's forced to the occasion and take the stand for everything he believes in. Yeah, so pretty much sums up the character of Andor. And there wasn't any like Andor figures that really grew on me. And when I saw this one, I'm like, yeah, I needed an Andor anywho. And the Black Series, I've been wanting to start my Rogue One squadron, but I haven't done it yet. Like, I need Rogue One because I need the skeleton crew. I have the Bad Batch, I have the Mandalorian, I have the Bad Batch, but I don't have the skeleton crew or Rogue One quite yet. But I also have the Rebel Alliance, like the Fab Rebel Alliance already. But I'm also kind of immense collecting Jedi as well. So, and I do have a lot of Imperial figures. So it's kind of cool to have a figure that kind of blends in with all your shelves, because he kind of fits in with mostly the sequel trilogy. I know this is kind of a long video, but this one. Okay, guys, here is what he looks like with the orange packaging right here. Nothing very special, but it's just the standard orange Black Series packaging. I wish they can collect these. I've already collected the boxes. I would have no room to just store figures around everywhere, but it is what it is. But the only other Andor figure I have is a Shore Trooper, which I'll demonstrate here. But here's what he looks like in the bubble. I'm glad the bubbles have finally returned for Hasbro figures, and now the prices are like $25. He's $17 on Amazon if you guys were looking for him, this variation. But yeah, crack him open. Mr. Luna, aka Cassian Andor. I want to take a look at some of his accessories. I had no idea he does come with 2 different blasters here, which I thought they were just really cool to see that. I thought you just had the one blaster. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Hasbro being lazy, like you always know. But this one right here is his iconic blaster. You see this one when in Andor. He uses this one a lot when he's fighting. It almost reminds me of what Han Solo uses, but a slightly bigger a version of that, and it's like 3D printed too, so you get to see like the gun like metal and the silver kind of blend out. And then you also on the other side see the silver again kind of bleeding with the barrel. This is a very thick and heavy blaster, and it's something I just love to see with figures, to have an iconic accessory like that, to see them like that. And then he does come with a smaller blaster, which I like the brown for the strap of the blaster, which is kind of hard to see. It's kind of painted on there. But the sculpting for this blaster is very iconic. It's something I have never seen in the line. So that's really cool to see that. And I just think the silver and the details all over this thing, it just looks absolutely stellar. And I'm trying to grip it so you guys can actually see the barrel of the blaster here, as well as the detail. So very nice detail here for Cassian Andor. So yeah, two really iconic blasters. I'll definitely show you what they look like in both hands and how you're supposed to display them, but it's up to you to decide how you want to display your figure. After all, it's your figure. Here is the amazing likeness of Diego Luna, aka Cassian Andor, and Andor just looks breathtaking. It looks like he's just stepped off the screen and he got him in a really nice serious moment in his stance here. And this looks like one of the best sculpts Hasbro has ever done to a Black Series figures likeness. I thought the Hayden Christensen one looked really nice. There are like a handful here and there with the modern Black Series figures that kind of off-putting, but they still look really well done. But this one has no shine to it, which is perfect. Like the Moff Gideon I have kind of has that old school kind of new school kind of shine, but this one does not. Really nice facial textures here. I love the 5 o'clock shadow. I love the hair, kind of like the silver blackish kind of gray color. Just looks like a very nice hairline here. It kind of reminds me of the hair of Peter Pascal, so it kind of gels it and kind of slicks back here, and it looks really nice, really well done side profile of Andor. And going down to another reason why I pick up the figure, it's always something I enjoy about Cassian is he always wears a jacket. If you guys are also kind of unfamiliar on Cassian Andor or new to the franchise, I recommend watching Rogue One. But this guy kind of works as a mercenary and a smuggler, but also he just tries to find good and take down the Empire as best he can. So yeah, his jacket is something that's very iconic to him. It's almost like how Lando always has a cape on. Cassian has some kind of cool bad blood jacket on him, and this one is just a really well sculpted jacket, similar to the one he wore in Rogue One, and it's like almost like a pilot's jacket. A lot of the pilots have like these like Harley Davidson kind of looking jackets. And it almost reminds me of something Kirk Hampton would wear from Metallica. Just love all the wrinkles and the fabrics they chose, and the textures and the gray and the navy blue kind of watered wash going down off the jacket. Even on the sides even have a little bit of the red here. So yeah, very cool for the jacket here. I really dig the sculpting for the jacket. And then he has this beautiful brown leather belt, which is really nice. A silver buckle, just like a very standard basic figure. Got some baggy pants, almost like Han Solo, but a little bit different. And this figure, I know you can get him in action stances, but I think it's kind of cool to have a little bit of both options here. And he has his boots over here, nice and brown, and really cool. Really cool figure. Yeah, so that is what Cassian Andor comes with out of the box. Nothing really special. It doesn't really smell like a new Black Series figure, but going over the articulation, he does have some really smooth butterfly joints as we move the figure here. I also chose this one too because the style of him just really screams what Cassian is to me. Almost like Poe Dameron in a way, but a double jointed elbow right here is nice on butterflies, so just be very gentle here. I think it's a single or double jointed. Yeah, I think it's double jointed. So double jointed elbow, very nice. I don't know what other poses you can get him into because the jacket's kind of get in the way, but his waist can move up this much. He has waist swivel side to side. This belt is kind of glued in there, so it won't like slide up off the holster. When you open up the figure, he does have a black tunic. Just be really careful because I don't want to bend the plastic, but he does have a black t-shirt, like shirt underneath here. So that makes it more aesthetically pleasing. Just be very careful when you do that, when you pose the figure, because you kind of want the jacket to stay where the jacket is. His legs just move out this much, and he does have a double jointed knee, looking really nice as well here. And yeah, that is what Cassian Andor's articulation is, and he also does have some wrist swivel and boots that move side to side. So yeah, very nice for Cassian Andor. Let me load him up here and then I can show you what he looks like a shore trooper. So the way I would recommend posing him, I kind of want to see what both options are, but I think, I could be wrong, I don't want to break the dang thing. I think we're just supposed to do, I like the Slicker blaster. They're also brand new too on the packaging. I'm gonna do this off camera, but I think I know what I'm talking about, what I'm doing. So give me ta-da! I got the gun back and put this big one in the holster, and then you can actually take this one out if you wanted to, and you can slide it back in just like so. A little bit tricky to put that one in there. I kind of prefer him with this tinier blaster because I just think he just looks iconic in a blaster like this. You can actually get him a more gun holster kind of situation. It's kind of like taunting. It's like, yeah, I'm Andor, and I'm about to take on this guy, you know, type of situation. Kind of like turn side profile. So yeah, really cool posing options. Let me pose them up a little bit more and give you some more details here in a second. Over here is where Andor is about to shoot a stormtrooper, so we can get him in like these stealth kind of poses. The stormtrooper's about to fall backwards, and I'm about to put him back on my display. I'm going to sort this display out here a little bit to make it look a lot better, but this is what it looks like next to a stormtrooper. So very cool. And you have like more stormtroopers kind of like battling them out, and now it's what it would look like after he just shot him. So yeah, it's a little bit of a stop motion kind of look there. Even though I'm struggling against the second season to get through it, this figure, it's just the amazing figure, and Hasbro just did an excellent job with articulation, sculpting, and no matter where you put this figure on your shelf, he will just look excellent with any character like Mandalorian, or Han Solo, or Lando, or anybody you can imagine. Andor is a perfect fit for your shelves, and if you guys can find him, check Amazon right now, he's $17, check your Ross's, check your Ollie's, check, I don't know where else, your local toy store. Mine is Big Fun, so if you guys live in the Columbus area, check out Big Fun Toy Store. They have a widespread selection, not sponsored, but they might have a figure to suit your needs. So, as always, I am Sasha Boss, and thank you for watching today's video, and as always, may the Force be with you, and long live the Rebellion. And that's another reason why I'm getting my tattoo pretty soon. Thanks for watching, and as always, I am Saj the Boss.